Hello and welcome to Tour Confidential. I'm your host, Sean Zock, joined in studio today by Dylan DeChier and Ryan Aselta. Gentlemen, we had an incredible scoring affair over across the sea at the Dunhill Links Championship. We had Carnoustie give up its first 63 of all time on Friday to Tommy Fleetwood, 61 from Ross Fisher on Sunday at the Old Course. Now, it kind of woke up some people. Gary Player, he says, he tweets out, he's kind of sad. It was quite sad to see the Old Course brought to its knees. Is it sad to you that a course is revered in history of the game, Dylan? Is it sad that it gives up a 61? Is it weird? Is it just a progression of the game?
I think it's inevitable the way things have been going, not just with equipment. That's an easy thing to talk about, the golf ball, the drivers. But I think the player physique, I mean, there's just more guys working out, you know, stretching, getting more flexible, getting more powerful. Something like this was bound to happen, especially, you know, across the pond and the British Isles. Anytime the wind sits down, you know, there's always a risk of someone really going low and laying bare some of these traditional golf courses. So I think it's just, you know, the way things are going.
Yeah, and if you look at the history of scores at St. Andrews, this course has played this event and the British Open for years and years and years. The scores have always gotten lower, Ryan. It's always a progression. You know, back in Gary Player's time, it was 6, 7, 8 under that won the Open Championship, and now 15, 16, 18 under wins the Open Championship. I feel like it's a progression thing, but do you agree with Gary Player? Is it kind of sad?
No, I don't think it's sad at all. It is progression. I think the Old Course is the latest course to show it's got no defense against modern technology, fitness, as Dylan talked about, and plus the mentality of today's golfers. And when the conditions were like they were this weekend, you know, golfers said it was perfect scoring conditions at St. Andrews. That's what you're going to get. I think the mentality is the thing that has changed the most, guys. These guys have this go for broke, aggressive golf mentality. We've seen it in other sports a little bit. I compare it to baseball, where the home run number was shattered this year because guys are just swinging for the fences or striking out. These guys, when they get hot, they go for it. They're going for the pins. They're not playing conservatively. They know what's the downside. If they make a few bogeys, they still make a lot of money with a top 20. So they can just go for broke, try to get aggressive. And when these guys get hot, we're seeing, you know, the 9 sub-60 rounds in PGA Tour history. We had a couple of them last year with Justin Thomas and Adam Hadwin. So we're going to see more and more of this. And St. Andrews is just the most recent place to happen.
It just feels like we're seeing players be smarter about their game and how they want to attach science to it, so to say. Hitting the ball higher, launch angle, and everything that TrackMan has helped evolve the game into. Do we need to be smarter? If we want championships and we want history and records to remain distinct and as an important part of the game, do we need to become smarter than the players? Do we need to think about a maximum flight golf ball? Do we need to think about courses that some people think should maybe be 9,000 yards? Is there a way that the stewards of the game, the R&A, Augusta National, the USGA, is there a way that we can bring them back? Is it the golf ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the organizations you're talking about are famously resistant to change of any kind. But it's obvious that something needs to be done if, in fact, we do care about these scoring records, if we care about guys hitting wedges into, you know, long par fours. I don't know when the last time was that we talked about a golf course being too long. Like, oh, that was unfair. That course was a little too long this week.
That's a good point.
It doesn't happen. It literally never happens. We played 700 yards maybe at the U.S. Open this year, and scoring records got broken left and right. So I think certainly that, you know, if we want 61 to be a rare occurrence, then the golf courses just play way too short.
Yeah, the fight against technology, guys, is not a fight that's going to be won. We have to embrace this. Fans don't want to see more pars. They want to see birdies. We get plenty of that at the U.S. Open every year. The only way to defend themselves is on the course, grow the rough, move the tees, and you rely on Mother Nature. There's only so much you can do. You mentioned the TrackMan technology. That's the thing. The fix for golfers nowadays, professionals, is so much easier. If their swing is a little bit off, they have the stats, they have the instructors, they have the coaches. It's a quick fix, and they're back on track. It's not 3 weeks of searching for it like the guys did back in Gary Player's era. And that, along with the depth on the PGA Tour, there's just way more solid golfers than there were as a whole than there were back then. And we're seeing the result of that right now.
Yeah, well, speaking of St. Andrews, one guy that holds the tournament record there at St. Andrews for the Open Championship is Tiger Woods. It's a guy we saw play a little golf this weekend. Not necessarily play golf, but show off his swing a little bit. He showed off a smooth iron shot, so to say, on Twitter. Do we make anything more out of this? We know that he was hitting 60-yard shots in practice, but now that we see a smooth iron, it's more than a 60-yard shot. Does it get you a little more excited about his comeback?
Well, I think it tells you one thing, which is, all the columns, all the takes that were had last week about, Tiger's transitioning peacefully into his role as assistant captain, as an elder statesman of the game. It's pretty obvious Tiger's not on that plan yet, at least in his own mind. I thought it was also telling that this wasn't on a driving range. This was actually out on the golf course. So Tiger's out there doing something, and in his mind, he's still right in the mix.
How smooth was it, though? It was like a slow motion video, tough to gauge. Tiger's giving us like little morsels. He's leaving a little trail for us right now, getting us all excited. It started with the chipping video, now the irons. I don't know. Tiger seems like he has a plan here to try to get us all excited. Until I see him ripping a driver at full speed, I'm not biting the bait just yet, Sean. But hey, my interest is there, that's for sure.
Well, I think I'm interested. I think we're all interested here at Golf.com, regardless if Tiger's hitting 60-yard shots, ripping drivers, or the smooth iron that he's sticking with nowadays. But that's it for us this week here at Tour Confidential. Tune in next Monday here at Golf.com.